Hello, and welcome to the Common Corner. As per the usual tradition, we are still lighting a candle, even though it is about 25 degrees outside and very warm. As you can see that the candle has burned a little bit, and it's because I'm restarting this video because my brain is not coping in the hot weather and I've had to close the window because there are children outside having a fun time in the park, but they are a little bit loud. Okay, I welcome you today to join me, and I was gonna call her Phyllis. I haven't actually given her a name yet, but maybe she's Phyllis now. Yes, I welcome you to join myself and her. This is my newest addition to the plant family. I haven't counted how many plants I have, but if I do a quick head count, there is about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 plants in the house at the moment. So we're quite a big family, and Phyllis is the newest addition, and she's doing quite well. All of this is like new growth since I've introduced her to this house. So I thought that we would welcome her to join us today. It is a Tuesday, so let's tune into the moment as we always do in the beginning of the Common Corner videos. It is a Tuesday afternoon, and I am in the second half of my lunch break, which includes now filming a video, which I'm very much looking forward to because life has been, I'm not going to say getting in the way of making videos because it just means that I've been busy in the best way possible. But I do miss it. So I've dedicated the second half of today's lunch to filming a video. I am doing an online training day today for medical school, so it allows me to stay home and enjoy the vibes here, which is great. There is a few things I want to talk to you about, and I have made, for the first time in a while, I've made a little agenda for us today. I've just put it on a piece of Midori to-do paper, and we have going through some recent pages that I've added into my Hobonichi, and of course from there we can see a bit about what I've been getting up to, and that will build a nice bridge for us to go through this little small haul of things that I got at a book fair in London. And then I also want to talk a bit about kind of pen pal activities, and that will tie in with chatting you through my little collaboration with the Washi Tape Shop as well. And then I'll just be doing a few minutes of relaxing envelope decoration for my pen pals. So yeah, that's the plan for the day. And let's get started, because the more that this window is closed nearby here, the hotter I'm getting. But we shall not let that affect me too much. All right. Last week I was talking to you a bit about how there's quite a bit of empty space present in my book at the moment, having just gone through quite an intense period of submitting my dissertation, and thank you to everyone who congratulated me on that. I really appreciated it. Yeah, let's see if I can put this a bit further so you can see. Yeah, so that has left me with a little bit of academic exhaustion. So it has been a bit difficult to get into the revision period of these final exams that I have coming up. My medical school runs in the way where we have finals at the end of every year. So we don't have any exams, or actually we don't have any formal exams during our academic year. And then we have 4 exams at the end of the year. And you have to pass all of these to move on to the next year. And if you don't, then that's another conversation. But yeah, so I am in that period now, and it's quite exhausting, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so let's see what I got up to the last time that we chatted. I believe that was the Saturday of last week. Yes, I think I had just talked about going to see Sinners. I believe, yes, film a video, it says. So that's when I last filmed a video for you all, and I went to see Sinners that day, which I thought was really brilliant. But and I had a feeling that it was a really, really good vampire film, but I am only now stepping my toes into the genre of like horror and thrillers, etc. So I am not sure how it ranks within the other films, if that makes sense, in that genre, but I did think it was a really, really brilliant film. Like I've said before, I'm a very tough critic, so only the films that have absolutely changed my life will get 5 stars. This one got 3.5, so it's very, very close. But I think I'm still kind of getting used to the thrill of thrillers, if that makes sense. But I really, really, really enjoyed it overall. It was just a nice day. There's a bit of empty space because I wanted to save it for a journal prompt. But as life has gone, I have less and less time to dedicate for these kind of not catch up, but like having fun in the empty spaces in my pages. Yeah, which makes me a little bit sad, but once again I know that once exam season is over, I will be so excited to get to have more time to play within my pages, and that's gonna feel very special. So I try to appreciate all the ups and downs of life, or rather than ups and downs, I would say the different waves of life. Yeah, I've done quite a bit of gardening, like I mentioned. I am growing my plant family and having a lot of fun with it. I definitely need to do a commonplace spread on all of the plants that are present with me at the moment and write a bit about each one of them. That's going to be a bit of a longer project, and I think I have a few things to do before I can get to that, but it will be exciting nevertheless. Yes, so I've also finally planted some strawberries that one of my pen pals sent to me in a little package, which is really fun, and they are already growing little stems in the balcony, and I planted them about 10 days ago, and they're already growing, so that's really exciting and very like what's the word in English, like rewarding. Yes, rewarding. And I've included some bits and pieces from my pen pals. Yes, today will also include some pen pal activities because I've recently been chatting with a lot of people via letters, and I feel like I have now my own little circle of pen pals, which is really fun. And I realized that it has almost kind of grown it into its own hobby for me. Something that's like kind of separate from journaling, if that makes sense. But yeah, so if any of my pen pals are watching, you'll be able to see basically the things that you've sent through like dotted across my pages, which I just think is really fun. Yeah, okay. I have then the following day, so Thursday was seeing Sinners, Friday was doing some gardening in the balcony, Saturday was doing a run and basically just doing a bunch of studying as well. And then on this Sunday, I went to Thorpe Park with our group of friends to celebrate one of their birthdays. And there's this new ride called Hyperia, which is, I think it's the fastest roller coaster, at least in the UK. I'm not sure if it's the fastest in Europe, but it does go 80 miles per hour, which I don't know how fast that is in kilometers per hour, but I know it's very fast. And I definitely experienced it myself. But that was a brilliant, brilliant day riding roller coasters on this Sunday. I had the time of my life. I love roller coasters. I always have. I think living in Florida and always going to the theme parks in Florida, including the Disney theme parks, has really like solidified my love for roller coasters. So I was really excited to do that. We took the train there, and there was also a ride called the Ghost Train, which was basically like when you went into the ride, it looked like the London Underground, but it was like with ghosts and stuff. So that was really fun. You can see I was playing with some ink today as a side note. Okay, and then I feel like, I'm actually not sure if that's completely accurate, but I feel like I have not been doing that much for my pages these days, if that makes sense. And I feel like that is once again part of the like ebbs and flows of life, where sometimes all you need to do is just write. And for example, on this Tuesday, I had a long day at university, and all I just wanted to do is just write my thoughts down. There isn't any kind of decoration and stuff, except with just putting a receipt from my university like a canteen, and that's it basically. And sometimes it goes like that, but it gives like the appropriate variety to my book as well. The more variety, the better, in my opinion. Okay. So last week we had a break from the usual GP practice placement. So I mentioned in the previous video that I'm currently doing my final placement of the year. So it's kind of like a work experience type of thing. So it's my final one of the academic year, and I'm in a general practice for that, meaning that I'm seeing patients as the first point of contact before they go into the hospital, if they need to go into the hospital, or if they just need help with something quite minor like an ear infection or an upper respiratory tract infection, or maybe they've been just very tired and they need some blood tests. But last week we had a break from that, and we were at the university for the whole week studying consultation skills. So we went through different topics every single day. There was the ear, nose, throat day, geriatrics, so older people day, I think dermatology day, and then a musculoskeletal day. So every day we learned about these specialties in medicine and how differently we have to run the consultations depending on those specialties. So there was a lot of kind of role play with actors who were pretending to be patients or acting to be patients, and then us having a conversation with them. So it was very good training, but quite challenging and really, really long days. But my highlights of the week were definitely kind of writing some letters, sending off some mail, and then also seeing my good journaling friend, This Joe Journals, here on YouTube. We went to our shared favourite location in London, the Barbican Centre, and we chilled in one of the lounges there, just journaled together and exchanged some stationery. That's what we often tend to do, is we exchange some stationery, and she had a lot of beautiful goodies for me, as you can see here, including some of her mini stamps that she's gotten recently. So naturally I was very excited, but I didn't have a lot of time, despite my excitement, to journal about it. Yeah. And then it was the last day of the week. I was very exhausted. This is all I wrote on that day. But I knew that I would be going to Tate Modern the next day to this book fair called Offprint. So Tate Modern is a museum of modern art here in London, and every year in May they do this book fair called Offprint, where they have, I don't even know how many kind of vendors or publishers, but they are all somehow related to, it's not your conventional book fair, like it doesn't have a lot of fiction, it doesn't have a lot of big publishers, so there are a lot of independent publishers, a lot of art magazines or fashion magazines that are more independent, if that makes sense. And you might not necessarily see them in like normal bookstores or like magazine stores. So I go there every single year because I love it, but it is very busy and slightly overwhelming. So that just as a PSA for anyone thinking to go maybe next year. I wrote down everything that I got from there just on this side. And I also got a little Tate Modern sticker here to commemorate the experience. So because I had so much space on this side and a lot to write on the Saturday, I kind of just went over to the other side and just drew an error, if you can kind of see it, because my book's now getting very bulky, so the side or like the middle is a bit difficult to see. And there was a book that was called To Rest Our Minds and Bodies, and it had art by Yoshitomo Nara on the cover, and it looked very intriguing, but I wanted to just do some research about the book before buying it, and I haven't yet bought it, but yeah. Something that's quite interesting is that from just the normal Tate gift shop, I got this Tombow pen. I have a few more of these, so I have just the black one, the black Tombow pen, because I really like the brush that it has. And then I have a blue one, a red one, and now this green one. And the reason that I got this green one is because I thought that it would match perfectly with the color scheme of May in the Hobonichi books. And initially I remember that it did. So if I make like a little note, where should I do that? Maybe I'll make it on this side. So you can see that it matches really well. I don't know actually if you can see, but now you can see that it matches quite well with the colors. But maybe when I was just doing those notes, I was doing it when the light wasn't as good. So it kind of looked like it was a perfect match. But now that I look at it, it looks a lot more yellow than this bright green. So that's interesting. But it's okay. This is still a very lovely color that I've been using recently. And it kind of creates a little bit of a color scheme theme, if you will. Okay, so I feel like I'm going to pause my pages here and then give you a little haul of the things that I got from Offprint. I presented to you in this beautiful, beautiful paper bag. There we go. Oh, and I would have said it there as well. Yes, Erin Jackson Rains was the artist of this paper bag, and she had a lot of beautiful things. One of them that was kind of my main purchase from her was this beautiful pin that has this rock, which I've now forgotten the name of because I only learned about it for the first time at this book fair. And I know it's not a book, but this was kind of in relationship to a lot of the other things that she had in her like a lot of the other products that she had. And it says, wishing you all the luck in the world. I just really enjoy the color of that. And then this rock basically is a token of good luck in many ways. And if you have one of these and you look through it, some people say that they can see spirits, and some people say that they can kind of see into an alternative reality. And I just thought kind of the mythology of that was very interesting. And I've been wearing this on my clothes, but I really just like how it looks, so I've been keeping it here as well. And just look at this beautiful business card. There were so many good business cards in this book fair. I collected quite a few of them because I like to use them in my kind of decorations of my covers and such. From her, I also got a bookmark that has a mythological creature, the dragon. And once again, I probably won't be using this as a bookmark because it's just so beautiful. Oh yes, and for her, she doesn't do a lot of her products herself. She collects photographs and paintings from very old archives. So this one, for example, is made in the 1470s. And she kind of curates this collection. So that's kind of her thing, is that she curates collections of very old pieces of art and photographs. But I just love this one. I'm a big fan of dragons, lizards, and reptiles in general. So hence this drew my attention. I'm gonna now pull everything else out of here. And we'll put it back in there in a second. Oh yes, I got just a little stencil that I've been looking for from the gift shop of Tate Modern. And then I got a few of these Raven business cards. They're beautiful because there's a few people in my life that I thought might enjoy them, so I got a few extra. And then this was another publisher called the Extra magazine, and I just thought this silver business card was just very, very cool. Yeah. Okay, so first is the postcards that I got. So there was few from this artist. Actually, oh, I didn't take her name down. That's a shame. But she was a graduate from, I believe it was a photography course in London. And she had these beautiful postcards. It says, I'm a fish on both of them. And it also has the same photo at the back. I'm a fish deep under the sea. I don't know, there was just something about the simplicity of it that I really enjoyed. And I also really like the texture. I have really been getting into postcards recently as a result of exchanging them with my pen pals. So that was a big kind of enjoyment of mine to hunt for some postcards. This MRI of the brain that has been cyanotyped. But yes, of course, I'm fascinated by the brain as a medical student, so I got this one, which was very cool, and it's been hand printed on this beautiful piece of card by Liv's Analog Photos. And unknowingly, I also picked up, because this was one table that had a bunch of different artists, because they were all from the same school. So unknowingly, I also picked up a photo book that's absolutely beautiful and has a collection of these film photos from London and Brighton. And it was by the same person, by Liv Harris. So that was very cool. And I was fascinated by the hand-sewn method of kind of putting this little book together. It's just very beautiful, and I just love it. So yes, and I used to do photography, and I still do photography, but that used to be my main method of being creative and exercising my creativity. But it's now turned to be my books and journals. But photography still will never leave my heart, and I will always be kind of appreciating it and practicing it. So whenever I find a photography book that speaks to me, I will go for it. So I have quite a nice collection of them. And then finally, I was talking to this group of people who have a zine on cycles, or like cycling. And it's called Love Letter Turbo, independent publication about alternative cycling culture. And it was really interesting to hear about the process of how they've made that zine, and they've created kind of their own fonts for it as well. And they also happen to have some stickers, and I couldn't resist. There wasn't a lot of stickers this year. Previous years there has been a lot more, but I couldn't find that many, and it was also very crowded, so I didn't have the energy to go through all of the stalls in detail, or all of the different places in detail. But these were very cute, and they have a bit of gold foiling on them. I know that a lot of these I will be sending to my friends who like cycling as well. And I hope to one day own a cycle and actually be able to do some of that myself. Yeah, okay, so this was it for the little haul. Oh yes, at the back of the they also have more details about it, which is really cool. Very rarely in sticker sheets do you get some interesting information at the back as well, which is fun. Really fun. I think most of all, I just remember the really good conversation that I had with these guys. Okay. Honestly, one of the things that I love the most about what I've gotten is this paper bag with these two medieval guys on them. Okay, so I think I'm gonna finish talking about my visit to Tate Modern. I finally got to see the Maman spider sculpture by Louise Burgos. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but there was another version of this spider, and it was called The Spider in Tate Modern in the early 2000s. Or actually, I think it was 2007 or 2009, something like that, but it was a while ago. It was over 10 years ago. So, and I had only seen photographs of it, and I had been waiting for it to come back someday, and it finally did. And when I was browsing around the gift shop, I saw that they had stickers of it, so I picked a few up for myself. Oops, something fell down my wall. For myself and for someone else who I thought might enjoy it as well. And I also attached a little photograph of this spider in my page. And this is just some of the PET tape that Joe gifted me, and it's just so beautiful, and it has been given me just the right feels that I've been looking for these days when I've been trying to figure out why my brain is so messy and how physical organization of my space could help. And I feel like these two portions of the PET tape give just that vibe. But yes, I'm just so happy to have this sticker here. And I didn't have enough space on the previous page to put it down, so I just put it on the next page, and I think it looks so cool. Clean home, clean mind, that was me yesterday, and I was just so happy to have had the time to do a proper clean of my entire space. And here we are today. I've just unboxed some Earl Grey cookies that a friend of ours gifted us, and it gave me this really beautiful card, so I really want to put it down here. And I will be now tuning into my tutorial for the afternoon. We're going to be talking about health equity in the UK and the problems with it, and how health is not equal. Not everyone has the same resources or knowledge about their health, and that leads to there being different life expectancies depending on your kind of socioeconomic background, which is not how it should be. So I'm going to spend my afternoon having conversations around that, and then I'll be tuning in after that to talk to you about my pen pal ideas. Then we'll be doing some decorating of envelopes together. So I will see you later in the afternoon. Hello again. I'm tuning back in about 2.5 hours after that last clip. I've now completed my afternoon lectures. It was more of a workshop, discussing about health equities and what we can do about them. And well, first of all, what causes not so much inequality in health, but why are the resources not being distributed to the groups of people that need them more than other people do. We discussed a bit about how equality is making sure that everyone gets the same resources, but equity is making sure that the people who need more resources will be given more resources than the people who don't need as much. And it was a very interesting conversation about kind of the political aspects of health in the UK, and making sure that there is kind of equal access, or maybe more so equitable access to healthcare in different populations. It was slightly a heartbreaking conversation as well, because of how many issues in health related issues in the UK could be preventable with just a change in the system. So a very, very interesting and thought-provoking afternoon. So I'll be kind of sitting with those thoughts now. But I feel like it would be very good for me to do something that's quite relaxing after that, to kind of digest it all. So I keep my kind of details of my pen pals in my Hobonichi weeks. At the back of at the note pages at the very back, I have kind of these notes that I refer to frequently, very much in relation to if I travel, so travel information, my dissertation information and notes, book recommendations and meeting notes, as well as my stationery spending, because that's something that I want to keep track of, as well as my pen pal activities, which I need to actually make a new page for, because this one has gotten full in terms of how many active pen pals I have going on at the moment, which is a big privilege. I feel like I've been having a lot of fun with this, and like I mentioned earlier on, I feel like pen paling and receiving and sending happy mail has kind of become its own hobby for me at the moment. It's bringing me a lot of joy to pick out stationery that I feel like someone would enjoy more than I do, and then sending it towards them with a letter that is accompanying that little piece of mail. So what I have here today is some things that the Washi Tape Shop sent me, and I actually saw a lot of their products when I was traveling in Hong Kong about 6-7 months ago now, and a lot of the stationery shops that I went to had the Washi Tape Shop's PET tapes, and washi tapes as well. And there was one PET tape that I got from them, but they contacted me, and I think they're doing a bit of marketing at the moment. So I was a lucky recipient of that email, but I feel like so were a lot of other creators. So you might see a lot of this kind of content at the moment, but I was very happy to receive some of their PET tapes, especially because I been doing a lot of pen paling recently, and I feel like, oh, this could be something fun that I can kind of forward to some of my friends via mail. So I'm gonna now attach a little clip of me opening these a few weeks ago already, when I had just come back from my trip to Switzerland and France. So it is at night time because I just couldn't resist opening them right away. So I hope that you enjoy that little video from Elle in the past. Hello, this is voiceover Elle keeping you some company while you watch me unraveling or unboxing these PET tapes from the Washi Tape Shop. So they very, very kindly gave me the opportunity to pick a few that I would enjoy, and I went ahead with some coffee-themed PET tapes as well as washi sticker tapes, and they were mostly coffee related, as that is one of my true loves in this world. And then there was one stationery related PET tape and stationery related washi tape, but the washi tape is like washi stickers, so they're already pre-cut washi stickers on a roll. This one that I'm showing at the moment is the stationery PET tape, already pre-cut, so I don't need to go around cutting them individually, which is very nice and makes their application quite easy to use. Yeah, and you can see me putting down the kind of washi tape covers into my, I believe it's my commonplace book. I wanted to do a little bit of writing about receiving these tapes and what my plans were with them, but I haven't ended up doing that actually, but hopefully I'll have time to tune into that a little bit later, as that's one of the last pages that needs to be filled in before this commonplace book is completed. But this is not really strictly a commonplace entry, if you will, because I'm talking about, well, I guess I'm talking about a product, and I was thinking about doing a bit more research about the company itself. Like I mentioned, I found out about them when I was in Hong Kong, but I don't know much about kind of how they started out and so on. So it would be interesting to write a bit about the history of the company in this section. But yes, I had just come back from the trip, and it was literally the same night. I hadn't even unpacked, but I just went straight into unraveling these tapes because I was so excited. Something that I've only maybe mentioned once before is that I don't order things online. If I buy stationery, I buy it in person, always. The only time that I've ordered something online is when I first ordered my Hobonichi cousin avec, which was from Stilo e Stile in Rome, Italy. And I ordered a few products with it to reach the free shipping limit. But yeah, other than that, I haven't kind of paid for any stationery online. So when I was receiving these tapes, it was quite exciting because there's not many places in London where you can get PET tapes in person. I will be, however, going to a miso paper pop-up event next Saturday on the 24th, so I'm very excited for that. And in the next few clips, I will be now showing you what my intentions are for today. So these are just a few clips showing you how I like to decorate my envelopes, and I just want to be filming that process today, so I hope that you enjoy it. Okay, welcome back to the present. I hope you enjoyed me opening up these tapes. It was a lot of fun. I didn't show all of the, what all of the kind of designs look like, because there was quite a few of them, a lot more than I expected to be sent, absolutely. But you might have noticed that the main themes were stationery and coffee, coffee related things, as well as planner related things. And I also got one that has kind of scenery in it. The one thing that's very different from other PET tapes that I've ever had is that these are very big. They're a lot bigger than I would have expected. So they're very good at for like decoration of things rather than putting them into my notebooks, if that makes sense. So that's why I have been using them to decorate envelopes. Do I have any examples? I actually don't have any examples because I've just gone to the post office and sent off quite a few envelopes. But what I was thinking of doing is that I know I'm soon gonna receive mail back from a few of my pen pals, so I'm gonna pre-decorate some of them because that's just a really fun way of playing with these tapes. So yeah, one thing I want to note before I get started is that their business card has a bunch of stickers on it, which I think is just absolutely genius. By coincidence, I feel like these Earl Grey cookies that I opened earlier kind of match with the vibes here. So maybe I'm just gonna put these stickers from their business card into my book. And everyone that they collaborate with gets their own unique code that you can get 10% off your purchase with, and I do have that in my inbox, and if you do decide to use it, it will go to a good cause of funding part of my kind of student life, because I get a small I'm not sure what it's called, but like a small percentage of that purchase, I believe. So I will be grateful if you do use that code, but there's absolutely zero pressure. Yeah, so let's peel off these stickers. They're also on this very nice kind of washi paper, as you'd expect from a washi tape shop. And I think I'm gonna put this, I really like this panda one in specific. I might just put this one in here, and then the other one I kind of want to put in my weekly pages, and this will be a good opportunity to also show you those. This is my current monthly pages, which I have whenever I get busy. So right now it's already the 20th. Whenever I get busy, I tend to fall even more than a week behind in my monthly pages, which saddens me a little bit because they used to be something that I enjoy kind of tuning into every day. But sometimes I guess I just don't have the time. Okay, this will be the second one. I'm actually thinking of peeling this sticker up from here and then layering it with this, because I want to put it on the same spot as when I'm doing this video, so for the Tuesday. There we go. And then I'll put the star here as well. Now I'm thinking actually this one doesn't really match with the vibes of this page, but we move on from that. I'm gonna also put the Washi Tape Shop somewhere here. Actually, should I put it on the actual page? Maybe, because I feel like this is something I'm gonna, yeah, maybe I'm gonna put it here. I feel like that would be nice, and then I can do a bit of writing about it. Okay, there we go. I've been waiting for like 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks now, to put it down. All right, and I'm just gonna recycle this. Okay, and then now this will go quite nicely here. Okay, so yes, without further ado, I'm just gonna stick this down as well first. Maybe just in the corner here, and then we will get to some decorating. I think I'm gonna do a voiceover on top because it's difficult for me to focus on doing the decorating and then chatting to you at the same time. So I'm just gonna put a voiceover on top of here in a second. Something I realized today is that I think I need to do like a little publishing calendar for myself, because I know that times will only get kind of busier and more overwhelming for me as the exams are coming closer and closer. So I want to make sure that there isn't kind of any stress or anything like that coming from the YouTube side of things, because I still am really looking forward to filming the videos that I talked about in my last video. So yeah, but okay, I will now cue over to the voiceover and get to enjoying the decoration of these envelopes. Thank you for that introduction, Elle, from earlier today. What you can see now is that the silver finger that was on my finger has now been taken off because it limits my kind of movement a little bit. I talked about this piece of jewellery a little bit in the previous video. So it is now a bit past 10 p.m. on the same day, and I've completed all of my tasks for the day, and oh boy, it has been very busy. So it feels quite relaxing now to be looking at this decoration. So I've layered up the maps with the hillside views PET tape, and I'm putting just some washi on top of that, which kind of matches with the blue colors, kind of on both sides. I just love layering things. And then I'm going with the stationary PET tape to kind of tie in that kind of cozy vibes from the front of the envelope to the back of the envelope. And I'm kind of creating this scenery that someone's been on a walk first and then they're kind of looking at some stationery, taking some photos. And like I've said previously, this has just become such a fun hobby for me. I'm selecting some of my other washi tapes, which are just like a simple pattern to help with the kind of layering aspect of things, because I find that if you don't have these layers, then it kind of is quite one-dimensional. And I especially love this gridded see-through tape that I got from Hong Kong, and this new washi tape that this Joe Journals gave to me. A big favorite of mine is these foil stars that I got from W.H. Smith here in the UK, and I'll be talking about those a little bit later on in the video as well. They just kind of add that final touch to the design that I've kind of gone with here. I really love this kind of paper clip. It's not a paper clip, but I've now forgotten what it's called, but one of those silver things that I put on to the right side of this PET tape. Like I mentioned before, they are quite big for PET tapes, but they work brilliantly for this kind of decorative purpose. I'm just looking at this and I'm just having a lot of fun just observing what I've done here. So there was this piece of PET tape that had a journal on it that said "Have a nice day." So I've just put that at the back. And then I was looking at this color scheme and I felt that it was a little bit too bright. So I've layered some relatively see-through white washi tape from Muji on top of the yellow bits there, or the yellow-green bits, so that it's not as bright, and I quite like how that came out. So that's one envelope down and two more to go. I'd be curious to hear if pen paling is like a very common activity that a lot of people do in this community, because I've been approached by a few people recently to exchange letters, and it's been really, really fun. And I feel like something that I highly recommend for everyone. Yes, so here once again you can see me layering that kind of map tape underneath this person who's looking at some stationery at a shop. And then what I wanted to do here is kind of create a whole scene of a stationery shop. Honestly, a dream of mine. If I'm one day retired and happy, and I don't know if you have to be rich to have a stationery shop, it's what I would love to do. I think it would be really, really fun. So yes, I'm creating kind of a stationery shop scene here from the PET tape. And of course, I can't forget my trusty foil stars. I have these in both silver and gold, and I'm bringing out the gold ones a little bit later. And here I'm also showing, oh gosh, my hair, as well as how I like to write the return address. My hair was very messy in that, but you know what, we're all human here. I really want to crop it out, but I shall not. Okay, 2 envelopes down. No, is it? No. This is the front of the same envelope. And I'm now putting down a scenery where that stationery shop would be located. which the scene was shown on the other side. I think this might actually be the third envelope. I might be getting a bit confused. Oh yes, this is the third envelope. My big apologies. For the third envelope, I just wanted to curate kind of like a little cozy town vibe with the feeling that on the other side there's someone who lives in that cozy town doing some journaling. My partner Ka came to say hello there. So yes, that's what was happening here. So I'm creating this journaling scenery here. Honestly, I think this has become a bit of a coping mechanism for me in the middle of this long exam season. It's barely really started, but it really feels long. And those of you who have been with me here on the Common Corner since last year might remember the exam season and how I truly feel during it. It's not an easy time for a medical student. So yeah, here I am creating these sceneries on the outsides of envelopes to help myself feel better about the kind of academic challenges that I am facing every day. And yeah, this is kind of that cozy evening journaling session that I've created. And I really love that piece of PET tape. I've said PET tape so many times in this video. But I hope you're enjoying the aesthetics of it all. Never can have too many of these gold stars. Okay, and I always leave a little bit of space for writing the return address for the Common Corner in case the envelope gets lost, which has happened one time, and I actually didn't get it returned back to me, which was kind of heartbreaking. I can't have an envelope without the Midori Oji-san 30th anniversary stamps, which I have two of. One where he's pouring coffee and one where he's saying okay. So yes, this was the envelope with the stationery shop scenery on the other side. And what I wanted to create here was a detail from the stationery shop where they have a little cafe attached to it. So I'm adding in a coffee machine with the background of the map because I feel like it just adds a bit of layering. And once again, I feel like the map is kind of maybe the location of this specific stationery shop. I'm really focused here, so I did not even remember that my head would be coming in half of the time. Okay, and I think this is the 3 out of 3 envelopes, and I'm just adding in some final details from the other kind of washi sticker rolls from the Washi Tape Shop. I'm clearly getting very tired as I'm doing this because the day is definitely coming to an end, but it is satisfying to watch myself completing these envelopes. I feel like it's kind of like envelope roulette. If any of my pen pals are watching, you'll be curious to know which one are you getting in the future. But this is very fun. Here I'm just writing a little piece of text with my messy bangs at the front, where I think it says, "Enjoy this happy meal with a cup of coffee." All right, and that is it. And here I'm just enjoying the final kind of look of all of them coming together. Of course, I must have the return address, so I just wanted to show you how I add that in at the very end into that empty space. Final checks. Does it need anything else? And yes, I have decided it does. I'm adding in little stickers to hide the Tesco logo of the envelopes. Believe it or not, I got this pack of 100 envelopes 3 years ago at a Tesco, and these were actually the final 3 envelopes of that 100 envelope pack. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for the voiceover, Future L. I've just finished having a lot of fun with decorating these envelopes. I used mostly just the tapes that I got from the Washi Tape Shop, which was really, really fun to kind of create these certain themes. I think the stationery shopping one, where there's kind of various stationery products and journaling, like here, that roll is probably one of my favorites, but I really like the kind of mapping one, as well as these ones for like the front side and the maps for like layering and things. So that was a lot of fun. And I of course used a few stickers from my trusty Traveler's Notebook sticker release paper book, as well as these stickers that I've just picked up from WH Smith in the UK, which is kind of where a lot of our post offices are, as well as they have some general like office related stationery, but they somehow had these foil stars, which is really brilliant. So I like to use these to kind of give everything a bit of a twinkle. So I believe that is it for today. And oh yeah, just a note, I'm using the Twisby Diamond 580 for writing my return address at the back, and of course I'll be writing people's addresses at the front, but I didn't want of course that to be exposed. And yeah, at the back I always write my return address, because I've learned recently that you shouldn't have your return address and the receiving address on the same side of the envelope, which I didn't know before. Because in Finland we used to do everything on the same side, I think, at least in the past. So I just put my return address at the back, and I always leave a bit of space for that, so I don't decorate the entire back. But yes, that was a lot of fun. Like I was saying, I used the Twisby Diamond 580 as my pen here, and I just received a diamine ink called Autumn Oak from This Joe Journals. Thank you, Joe, for destashing your inks to me. I really appreciate it, and I love the color. So yes, and that is all. We went through my recent pages. We went through the little haul from the Offprint. Very little, I might add. A bit of catching up with the pen pal activities and showing you some decoration of the envelopes with the Washi Tape Shop products. Thank you for tuning in today, and I will see you again hopefully very soon, hopefully with my commonplace book, which is something I talked about a bit in last week's video as well. Thank you for tuning in, and have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Bye.